Good morning, Sainers. Welcome back to the Saints TV YouTube channel. Football is back, and it's a big game on Sunday. Adelaide Crows, round 1, 12:35 p.m. start. So it's going to be a nice early start, but I am very excited to be here with you to talk about the game, to preview the game. I've waited until Friday. The teams have dropped. They're going to be finalised tonight, but nonetheless, we do have ballpark of what Ross Lyon is looking to field on the weekend, and from what I can see, there are some good signs there, and Jack Sinclair listed on the field at halfback, and Rowan Marshall as ruck. Whether we play Harry Boyd and let Rowe run riot in the forward line remains to be seen, but so far, not a bad lineup given circumstances, but we do have options. On the flip side, Adelaide's forward line is enormous, and I guess that's pretty much where the game's going to be decided. Usually, you kind of think, well, the game's going to be decided in the midfield, Jake. And obviously, if we negate their midfield in, Dawson, Peatling as well, who they snatched from GWS, who we were looking at a little bit, and Saligo with Riley O'Brien in the ruck, who's always very good against us. They're going to get a lot of entries into their forward line, and at some point the damn wall will break, and we kind of found that a little bit last year when we played them. They got repeat entries in the second half, and in wet weather in particular, and just Phil Thorpe and some of these players got going. Fogarty, Walker, they can be a handful for any team. But if we can negate that, whether it's midfield wise or our backline just plays an awesome game, because on the flip side, it's not going to be it's not going to be the same conditions as last time. So we're going a little bit small for a bit of pace. So clearly the strategy is don't let them dominate in the air. Once the ball hits the deck, run off them, because we know that Darcy Fogarty's not going to be defending, Taylor Walker's not going to be chasing, Phil Thorpe's not going to be chasing. Make them accountable. So when you look at our backline, and you've got Jimmy Webster, Sinclair, Wanganeen Malera, and Angus Hasty, I didn't even mention him, but seeing him listed on field, great reward for effort there. He's had a really good preseason, very happy with that. And whether Boxall gets a go, I think he deserves to. Max Hall as well. But we've gone medium-sized, quick feet type players, and clearly that would be the strategy. We can't match them in the air. We can't match them in size. So beat them in an aspect that we excel at, which is running. And I talk about it every bloody week. I always say we train the house down. We look quick, this and that. We didn't look quick against Port. So we're going to have to lift in that respect. But, a week ago, Carlton dominated the Giants. Giants smacked Collingwood in round 1, and then Carlton lose to Richmond. So football is football. It's unpredictable. And if anything, last night gives us a vote of confidence. Did Richmond fans think they had any chance last night? No, they didn't. There's no reason why we can't go to Adelaide Oval on Sunday and get the chocolates. There is absolutely no reason. So I get people are nervous and they're very negative about the fact that we're missing some players. But at the same time, I think we've got enough in our own right to cause them problems. It's just a matter of can we reduce the damage when they go inside 50? Because if it's a type of game where they're getting 60 inside 50s and we're getting 45, they're going to win. They're going to win. And I can't remember who said it on the teams last night. It might have been Ollie or Evan, one of them, but they made a very good point, is that we can't allow those repeat entries because eventually they're going to get hold of us. That's just how football goes, especially when you've got marking power like them. And we're lacking height. We've got Cordy and Wilkie and Jimmy Webster really as the 3 key defenders. Whereas last year it was Wilkie, Howard, Battle. So we've lost 2 of them for this game. That's going to be, it's going to be a very, very tough ask. But we're going to have to allow for the Mason Woods to go back and maybe go forward depending on where we need that help. If they're getting repeats, put Mason Wood back and he can be that sort of medium-sized defender as well. And he's good aerially, so he can take some marks. Forward of centre, it's the same thing. Kamanides playing as full forward. Again, versatility. He can go back if things go awry a little bit. So I don't mind that. Same with, Mitchie Owens can play sort of all over the joint. Harry Boyd goes into the ruck. Maybe that allows Rowan Marshall to sit behind the ball a little bit if they're dominating. But if they're not, and we've got the ascendancy, you put Rowan Marshall full forward and let him go to work, because we know that Rowe's great in the air, and he's always good for a couple of goals when he plays full forward anyway. So I'm, I'm nervous, like obviously, but I'm nervous every week, so it's nothing new for me. I'm more excited because it's round one and we don't know what to expect. And every supporter base, to me, like I find it very odd when a supporter base goes into round one when their team hasn't played yet, in a negative mindset, because the team hasn't played. Let them play. Let them get this game done, and then we can get into that stuff. Round 5, 6, there's enough proof there to see where you're at. Right now, we don't know where we're at. We don't know where Adelaide's at. We don't know where any team in the competition is at. A lot of people are tipping Sydney against Brisbane for some reason. Brisbane just flogged everyone and won the flag. So everyone's opinion's a little bit distorted at the moment because we don't have that immediate sort of recollection of current form. We don't have that, apart from the practice games. But they the first 2 weeks, the first couple of games of round one have proven it, and opening round, that's not a form line. That is not an accurate form line. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if we go into this game and put in a really good show. So whether that means getting the win, I'm not too sure. But I have a weird feeling that this young team full of, players that want to make it, want to prove themselves, we possibly could have, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 debutants. And then we've got Jack McRae playing his 250th and Zach Jones playing his 150th. I'd imagine, so out of the extended bench, Liam O'Connell, I'd say, based on the type of game we want to play, I'd say Boxshall plays, Harry Boyd plays, and then it's one of Hall, O'Connell, Keeler. That's what I think. I almost would play Keeler for some reason. I just think maybe just to balance out the height differential with some of their players, and maybe he can go back if things go crazy, and that still means you can leave a Caminiti forward, or you put Caminiti back. You still got Keeler as representation, but that might affect whether Harry Boyd plays, and I think Harry Boyd should definitely play. Or O'Connell, who can run, and he's versatile. He can play on a wing, can play half back, can play forward, and he's been pretty good in most of those practice games, particularly the Carlton one. So there's some options there. Hunter Clark is listed on field, which is interesting because he hasn't played a practice game. So clearly experienced half forward flank, with Ronnie Burns as well fielded, whereas a lot of people thought maybe he would miss. So, we've got to negate. Mainly the ones that I look at are Wayne Malira out of halfback for Adelaide, Jordan Dawson in the midfield, and then forward line, you've got Rankin, Fogarty, Walker. Walker, not in his best form of late, but going into last year as well. But he loves playing against us, and that's a massive problem. So they've got players all over the park that can hurt you, but Adelaide are in the similar boat to us, fighting for the 8, inconsistent, beat teams that maybe you don't expect them to, and then drop games that maybe you expect them to. And I'm hoping this is a game that they drop that a lot of people are expecting them to win, because in the tipping, in the odds, we are significant underdogs. And I think it'll be the case, next week as well against Geelong. And then the way Richmond played last night, round 3 is not going to be a given. So we need to find form quick, find some balance in this lineup, even with players missing, and hope that troops can come back in the next couple of weeks with King, Henry. They're all due in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So we'll be looking a lot stronger then. But in the meantime, we need to just, keep our heads above water a little bit. So I'm excited for this Sanus Sunday, 12:35 p.m. If you're going to the game, enjoy. If you're watching it anywhere else, get behind the boys. Let's hope that we start well. Ari said it on the podcast that the starts are the major worry. We do not want to be starting slow in this game, getting Adelaide up and about, getting them confidence. The crowd gets involved. We put our heads down. A young team, they can lose confidence very quickly and get nervous. But at the same time, if we're on top, they can get very, very confident, young teams. And we saw what happened with Richmond last night when momentum shifts and young players just want to play and they're just having fun. And if we go out with that approach and we have fun and we play the way we want to play, I think at the end of the day, we'll be pretty happy with whatever result we get. So we just don't want to go there and, half time we're thinking, damn, this changed the channel. We don't want that. It's round 1. Let's enjoy it. I don't want to hit panic stations quickly. I want to see us go there and take the game on and try and hurt Adelaide. And if that gets us a result, we're going to have a lot of fun on Sunday on the review. So On that note, Sainers, thank you very much for watching. That is the match preview for Round 1, AFL 2025. Adelaide versus St Kilda, 12:35 p.m. start, Sunday. It's going to be awesome, March 16th. So can't wait for it. I'll be live after the game for my review, win or loss. And there'll be plenty of content post-game. There's obviously the teams and a number of other shows that have come out during the week that you can check out in the meantime. So thanks again, Sainers. Put in the comments. Let me know how you're feeling about the game. And I'll see you after the game. So take care. Enjoy the rest of your week. And as always, go you mighty Sainers. Let's get the dub.